Alright guys, what is going on? We're back up here live one more time tonight. This is the Club of the Man 1993 and I'm here for my live review of AEW Dynamite from the March 25th, 2020 edition of Dynamite that took place again at Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida, in front of an empty arena. Of course, we still had some people still sitting at ringside, but a lot of the attention from tonight's show was shown from backstage, people placing bets and whatnot and such on these matches on the show. I was very excited for this show, as last week's show definitely got me super excited for sure and lifted up my spirits as a wrestling fan. So I was excited for this week's show. This show was not as good as last week's show, I'd say, but it was still a pretty good show. Looks like we do have another title match for the AEW World title set up after this show tonight. We also got to hear more, and actually kind of like this show, well, we had the in-ring debut for AEW for the Exalted One, Brody Lee, that was good. Tonight, though, I felt like was meant for tonight to really introduce Matt Hardy into AEW as well. I love that promo at the end he had with Chris Jericho, and also with Jericho trying to get Vanguard 1 to join the Inner Circle. The drone he was trying to get to join the Inner Circle. Watching that segment, well, I'll say that till he gets that segment, but still a good show tonight for sure. I liked it. Wasn't as good as last week's show, but I still thought we had a really good performance, once again, from the new and upcoming brand for sure. That again put on a good show and actually including some energy from the wrestlers watching backstage. The whole them placing the bets and whatnot. Always again just adds the energy to it, and it actually feels like a legitimate show. They're actually building towards something. I did read a rumor somewhere that Blood and Guts has been postponed till further notice. I'm not sure when it's going to take place now. But until then, they're going to continue just to build towards it, I guess. Because I think it was supposed to take place tonight. But it did not happen because, they want to do it in front of an audience. So hopefully that will be soon. It won't be long again before we get to see that happen. But again, we'll just have to wait and see what goes down. Tyler's in the live chat. Let's check the live chat. What's up, Tyler, again? TLC, more like TLS. Tables, ladders, and stupid. Nice. And also, I like that Moxley is champion, but I hope it's not like his WWE Championship reign. Oh, dude, I believe AEW is going to give him a much better run with the WWE, the AEW World Title. Again, he wasn't supposed to be WWE Champion whenever he was champion. Because again, he only became champion because of Roman Reigns' suspension. If that wasn't the case, Reigns was supposed to take the WWE title to Raw when the brand split returned, and then AJ Styles, his match with John Cena at SummerSlam was supposed to be for the debuting Universal Championship. That's where, and AJ Styles would have won the Universal title then. So I definitely have faith in AEW to make his run as AEW World Champion much better than his WWE Championship run. I like that on Twitter of Randy Orton's gif of stupid, for sure. But thank you for your stuff in the live chat, Tyler. Let's talk about the show, because I actually want to, because I have it set up on my other computer to start watching it as soon as I'm done with this stream, but I will at least watch probably just part 1 tonight of the Chris Benoit Dark Side of the Ring documentary. Again, everybody's been telling me to watch it, and I probably will do a live review about it at some point afterwards, get my thoughts. But everybody's been telling me to watch it. It's available free. I'm going to go check it out. So we'll see, how it is. I heard it was hard to watch, but once again, I will check it out. So, for Dynamite tonight, we opened up with a match between Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Havoc. That was a good match. Couple nice little spots over there, such as a clothesline over the ropes and back inside. We had a reversal into an arm bar as Havoc went for the Cody cutter. And then Jimmy got the full extension, and Cody pivoted to reverse a pin, but Jimmy hangs on, and then Rhodes got to the ropes and a good near fall there. We have an acid rainmaker also that couldn't end the match either, and inverted suplex, but eventually to the crossroads. Cody gets the win with the crossroads. And of course, throughout the match, throughout the night, we see the heels in the locker room gambling on the match backstage. And then we had Jake the Snake Roberts come up on a Titantron with a message for Cody. Obviously, to me, I mean, again, I still don't like the fact that they kind of ventured away from the Cody and MJF feud just randomly. I still think that feud shall continue, and Cody will eventually get his comeuppance on MJF. So I kind of am a little bothered by that, but I am intrigued to see what happens with him and Lance Archer, as that's Jake the Snake Roberts' client. He has a message for Cody. Lance Archer is champing at the bit to just get in the ring with somebody from AEW. He talks about AEW giving the people what they want, but his phone didn't ring, and here he is, the best mind in wrestling. They didn't bring in Lance Archer because they're afraid. They're right to be, because he's still paying off the medical bills from Archer's last training session. Tells Cody bring whoever he likes, but he needs to be sat down with something decided for one meeting between Rhodes and Archer. That's all they need, is one time to get this done. It's up to Cody, and then he says, trust me. So, obviously, again, he's making obviously, I think this is going to lead to a match, probably a double or nothing between Cody and Archer, I think. I think probably could be a good match. Good way to bring in Archer for sure. It's a good way to get Cody something to do. But again, I still don't like how they kind of pulled Cody away from his feud with MJF. Unless they're waiting for MJF to eventually become, the world champion, and that's when Cody challenges him for the title, basically. The title that MJF cost him, but I'm not sure. Again, it still feels weird that, I feel like it doesn't have to be a full-on focus, but I feel like it has to be feels like it's lurking in the background. I mean, other than the fact that, again, MJF has a shirt saying that he pinned Cody, but I feel like something else needs to be told to show that, it's still lurking in the background to me, that the feud is still somewhat continuing. But once again, it's just not right now. So, I don't know, maybe because of blood and guts, but who knows. But that's what I still hope to see someday, is eventually Cody get his comeuppance on MJF. But till then, MJF should still be built up stronger than Cody right now for sure. Back from commercial though, Cody joins us on the commentary booth. He responds to Jake Snake Roberts' message by calling him bitter and jaded, but Lance Archer's great. He's got no body of work here, but that means he can't start with Cody here and now. Archer will debut next week. Darby Allin gets a video package calling Kip Sabian out followers. He talks about how super bad is just words, and he's met plenty of people that fit that description. But Sabian is nothing more than a sacrifice for the sins of the inner circle. So Darby Allin had a match with Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford at ringside, which, dang, she looks fine. Good match, for sure. Sabian would go on to eat a pinfall victory. Darby Allin would pin him with a kind of like a roll-up switch, and he called the Last Supper, apparently. Gets the win. It's nice to see him get another victory for sure, as I definitely am very high on Darby Allin, upcoming as well, talent. So he gets the victory there. Back then, we get a squash match for Jake Hager, and he defeated some jobber named Chico Adams. Now, again, I see that Jake Hager is undefeated currently. He's now 5-0 in AEW. So not too big on him. I don't know, because I still have the Jack Swagger vibe on him with the bad booking he got in WWE. I mean, he's dominating. I mean, he's basically meant to be just a big man MMA style fighter, basically, who's just dominating. And I think 4 of his 5 matches he's won by getting his opponent to pass out. They're calling him the Big Hurt, which to me that doesn't flow me, because to me the Big Hurt is the former baseball player, now Hall of Famer Frank Thomas. He's 5-0. What does that mean? He probably is due for a world title shot. And it looks like we are going to be getting that match soon, because out came Jon Moxley after the match, who was targeting the Inner Circle for beating him down a couple weeks ago when he was supposed to have that tag match with him and Darby Allin taking on Jericho and Guevara. But before the match, Santana, Ortiz, and Hager had attacked him coming in from the ramp. So Moxley comes out, gets in Jake Hager's face, and they brawl. He has a paradigm shift, but Jake picks the leg and gets his ankle locked. Moxley, though, kicks him out of the ankle lock and to the floor. And he nearly takes his head off with the title belt as he swung it. Of course, um, Cody on commentary, he was calling it like big platinum or whatever it was, but he like swung like hey, he wanted to whack his head off. But when he did that, Hager starts backing away, and then Moxley starts calling him out. And after the commercial, we have an interview with Moxley saying that he told Hager to check his blind spot. He goes where he wants, when he wants. But right now, he's cleared. He's 100% good to go and ready for action. He's out for blood. Hager may have walked away tonight, but when the title is on the line, he's not walking away at all. He's going to be carted out on a stretcher, or Moxley is going to die trying. So I guess they kind of implied, I guess that this is going to be the world title match for Moxley at Blood and Guts. I guess we'll have. I don't know, but good way to set up. I'm not sure when it's going to happen again, but it just depends. So all right. I mean, yeah, I'm still not really too big on Hager yet right now. I mean, he's like a big bodyguard in the inner circle, but he's getting matches. He is dominating. I'll give him that, but still growing on him, in my opinion. Again, probably because I still have just the Jack Swagger vibe written on him pretty much right now. We see here in the live chat, Tyler says, I hope after WrestleMania, AJ needs to turn face. I think AJ just needs a break because he's working hurt right now. He knew Archer as Lance Hoyt from TNA in the 2000s. Nice. And he liked that the match between Dustin and Hager. Dustin has him facing has him calling him Jericho's bitch. Oh yeah, I did like that segment he had on him, calling him that for sure. But then we get a recap of Brody Lee's debut as the Exalted One, a nice surprise. And then we get a video package of Brody Lee eating dinner with Alex Reynolds and John Silver. He berates them about strength in numbers, saying the Dark Order are the lions of AEW, and they prey on the weak. Silver then goes to eat his dinner, but Brody yells at him and runs him off, telling Reynolds that he doesn't eat until he's done, and to smarten his boys up. Alex then sneezes, and then Lee screams at him, demanding he leave. I'm pretty sure that was a shot at him, because I heard a rumor Vince McMahon hates it when people sneeze. So, we had this, and then last week he even fired the shot saying that Christopher Daniels is not the only old man that does not believe in him, basically. So I just love any of these little nitpicks that these former WWE stars in AEW are literally like firing the shots back at WWE, through their own wording of it, like not directly saying Vince McMahon sucks, but they're literally just firing back at him. And that tells me probably Luke Harper must have gotten in trouble because he sneezed around Vince McMahon, which again, he just shows how senile and crazy he is. But that was hilarious there. Brody Lee has his in-ring debut against QT Marshall. Dominating match again. Just so glad to finally see Luke Harper, Brody Lee, John Huber, whatever the heck his real life name is, finally gonna get his moment to show what he can really do that WWE refused to do with him. But he gets the win with a discus lariat, and afterwards, he dropped a mask onto Marshall's body, obviously trying to recruit him for the Dark Order, which was fine with me. We get a recap of the Inner Circle and Elite feud. Vanguard then gave us an update on Nick Jackson, estimating that he's at 62% recovery and filming him while he works out. Nick approaches Vanguard 1, and the drone flies away, and then the signal is terminated, basically, as he's getting ready to go confront Chris Jericho. We then had Sammy Guevara take on Kenny Omega for the AAA Mega title. Not a bad match for sure. A match, of course, maybe you think that, of course, I kind of wish there really was a legitimate mid-card title in AEW right now. I'd say someone like, Sammy Guevara or, Darby Allin, I'd say would be a good fit for sure. I think they both could benefit from that championship. I thought Sammy and Kenny, though, had a really good match. There was a part in the match, though, where Sammy Guevara picked up Brandy Rhodes' caricature and sloppily kissed it because he thinks he's a sexy Spanish god and whatnot, giving us some tonsil hockey action and whatnot there. But a great match for sure. Again, definitely very underrated for sure is Sam Guevara. I think he's definitely benefited from being under Chris Jericho's wing. Yes, he's lost a lot of matches, but he's looked great in a lot of them. But eventually, Omega would retain by hitting a J Driller. Um, I mean, um, um, in an electric chair for him to retain the AAA Mega Championship. And then afterwards, we get to the ending segment. Chris Jericho comes out, talks about Matt Hardy's debut. Hardy pledges allegiance to the Elite, those arrogant SOBs. But he doesn't think Matt really understands his choice. He's going to give him a chance to make it right. He's going to try to get Matt Hardy to join the Inner Circle. Vanguard 1 then flies in. Jericho, which, as I was going to say earlier, WWE getting someone to talk to a drone would look stupid. Jericho, though, talking to a drone was just priceless. Jericho says he's glad Vanguard showed up. He got a couple things to tell him. He doesn't like him. He thinks he's arrogant. He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of, metal and plastic. But even though he doesn't like him, he respects him, and he wants him to join the Inner Circle. But then Vanguard flies away, obviously saying that he doesn't want to join the Inner Circle, and Jericho starts yelling at him, which was crazy. Then Matt Hardy's music hits, but then Matt Hardy was showing on the balcony. And then, I'm pretty sure this was edited, unless there's some other special effect, I do not know. Matt Hardy then teleported all over the arena. Again, I am pretty sure that was edited. And I'm pretty sure it's at some point, we're not going to be able to get this all the time unless they are somehow able to pull this off. But Matt Hardy teleported into the ring, basically, and then gets closer to the ring, and then eventually he makes his way inside the ring, snaps his teeth at a stunned Jericho, and then he said, "Maker of Pain," since sometimes Jericho's introduced as the Pain Maker. But he said, "Maker of Pain, I knew you'd come." Jericho says, of course, they booked this segment last week. And how did he teleport? Which Matt says, "I am magic." Jericho puts him over and says he just wants to explain some things about AEW. This is his show. It was originated and raised and put into the mainstream by him. So when he showed up in AEW, he's the one he wants to ally with, not the arrogant SOBs in the Elite. Hardy understands, and the reason he assisted the Elite last week is because that he owes the Bucks of Youth a debt of resurrecting broken Matt Hardy. And on top of that, he's seen the tyranny of the Inner Circle, and this place for him represents freedom. It's his Arcadia. He can't allow him or the Inner Circle to ruin this paradise that must be protected at all costs. Jericho's like, but I've resurrected careers. Jake Hager, Jon Moxley, Sammy Guevara, Santana Ortiz, and he can even resurrect Matt Hardy's career. Everyone makes mistakes. Secondly on the job, he deserves a mulligan, so give him one more chance to join the Inner Circle. But Hardy says that Jericho doesn't understand what he's looking at. He may recognize the vessel, but the pilot is new. He is Damascus, and Damascus is over 3,000 years old. When it comes up to violence and brutality, he is your guy. Jericho's like, well, if you're 3,000 years old, you must be wise. And he sees his amazing cloak and the sassy red streak in his hair. He sees the difference, but inside, he's still the same Matt Hardy he's known for 25 years. Matt says he can say the same thing for the chameleon Jericho, an evil essence to the core, the truly whole of the ass. Whole of the ass! Just like, more of lords. And, whatever the heck ever it is, it's like you said, but that's technically what I think. Again, I am hooked on saying stuff like, whole of the ass, or the phone of Mike, or the book of note, ever since in Spanish class, because technically in Spanish, you're always taught that technically in Spanish, you're not saying, the example everybody always uses is Peter's dog, but the way you write on Spanish, it's like, El Perro de Peter, the dog of Peter. So, Matt Hart, and ever since I gained the habit of saying, the head of Bobble, the phone of Mike, the top of Lap, or just something like ridiculous like that, or the drive of External, because I was looking around to see random things in my room right now. Just Matt Hardy saying this is just hilarious, especially the whole of the ass. But anyways, Jericho says that Hardy is always in someone's shadow, whether it's his brother or now Jericho himself. Matt's like, I'm in no one's shadow. Jericho offers him one last chance, the Inner Circle or Elite. Delete! Jericho asks again, Inner Circle, delete, elite, delete, elite, delete, elite, delete, elite, delete, delete, delete. And then Jericho finally tells him, stop! No, he went, would you just shut the hell up? Just kidding, he didn't do that, but he could have. He says, no one is here to chant his stupid catchphrases. He stopped everyone coming to any Dynamite shows till further notice. Well, just to cover up until people are allowed to come back to Dynamite again, to any live shows because of the coronavirus. But Matt says to the contrary, the venue is full of senses. He talks about his theme song Judas, saying he knew the real Judas, but he got a new song for Chris. He'll fade away and classify himself as obsolete. Obsolete! Hardy then continues to point out that he says he sees Abraham Lincoln in seat 15C, MLK over a different place, and then all these other famous people. Jericho's like, well, I can't see them. Matt says it's because he doesn't have faith, and he wants Jericho to take a hard, long look at the entity that is going to delete him and the Inner Circle. Jericho says, all I can see is the same old Matt Hardy. Maybe he should smack it out of him. Hardy then fires a shot back at Chris and knocks him down. Jericho says, okay, I see you do have magic. You took out the champion with one punch. But he too does have magic. Abracadabra. Matt Hardy gets his ass kicked. And then Sammy Guevara came out of nowhere and beat down Matt Hardy. Jericho joined in, and then Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes can make the save with steel chairs. And the Inner Circle gets beaten off and put back onto the stage. So they're trying to escape, but then Matt Hardy continues to say delete and calls for his flamethrowers to erupt, and he starts going nuts, going delete, 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 and that's how the show went off the air. Which, again, it was pretty darn awesome. Again, last week was Brody Lee's moment. Both these guys debuted last week, but I feel like Brody Lee had a more powerful moment. This week, it was more so Matt Hardy's night to really, shine and, open up as the broken brilliance has returned. This isn't woken Matt Hardy from WWE. This is the broken Matt Hardy that we'd seen in TNA, which I did not get to witness. But now that he's going to get to take to that level, he's looking at TNA, maybe even higher level, I'm all in, and I cannot wait. And I'm excited to see where it goes. And that was Dynamite for you guys. Again, great show, not as good as last week, but again, I gave it a B+. Tyler in the live chat says Blood and Guts should be a pay-per-view, which should be, and then screw the virus and whatnot. But for sure. But thank you, Tyler, and everybody else for joining me live for watching the stream. I gave Dynamite this week a B+. Again, great show. Again, we're just going to build for whatever Blood and Guts happens for the match between the Inner Circle and the Elite. We're also, of course, probably going to be getting Moxley and Hager. Alright, whatever. Maybe Hikaru Shida and Nyla Rose for the Women's World title, and I don't know who's going to fight for the tag titles. Well, they're not going to be on the line because they're going to be in the match. So, we'll see what happens when that show happens. So, guys, what are your thoughts? Make sure to leave your thoughts about Dynamite this week. Leave us down in the comment section below. Slap a like on the video. Subscribe more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAir93. With that, guys, I'm checking out. I will see you guys all later, probably tomorrow, for my NXT live review. So until then, guys, have a great rest of your night. I'll see you all later. Stay safe and healthy, everybody. Peace out, everybody.